So today we're going to begin coming to find ourselves into our back lean. So if you'd like to position yourself directly underneath your plumb line, reaching up nice and tall. Hopefully you've been familiar with checking in with your grip strength, with your shoulder stability, and making sure that your upper limb is feeling ready for action today. Know that if you get any signs from your body through the practice of fatigue, that it's a really important time to pause and to wait until you feel more strong or stable in those areas. So today, as we find our back lean, we're going to rest into that area just underneath the lower angle of the scapula and feel the tension of the hammock supporting the thoracic spine. I'd like to invite you today to begin with a salutation practice, allowing the arms to rise into a point above your head. Perhaps you lift onto the balls of the feet to activate the back of the leg line. And from here, we can take the arms into a nice wide T and find a bend into a chair posture. Push through the legs into the tension of the hammock and feel that light contact once again. And then exhale and return, reaching length through your collarbones. Push through the legs. Taper down the front ribs, a light contact, and release. If you'd like on this next variation to add in deeper thoracic extension, begin to engage through your glutes, taper down the front ribs and follow your gaze through your inner wrist. Bringing yourself gradually back to a diagonal, and this time moving through chair all the way into a forward leaning T, strong with the front deltoid of the shoulder, engaged with the core. As you release back, catch that rise of the arms. Perhaps you articulate all the way back into a gentle crescent moon, inhaling to return to your mountain peak, and exhaling, continuing to squeeze inner thighs together and reach long. Soften through the knees, a breath in, and exhale, engaging through the buttock. And returning all the way to forward leaning T. If you can stabilize here and feel strong in the abdominals, see if you can start to walk out through your heels. This articulation gets some warmth through the calves, really starts to prepare the feet. And you're becoming aware of that axial alignment through the spine. On your next exhale, we're going to look to lower down that right heel, pike our buttock behind. Continue to float your shoulders, just hovering off the pillars of the hammock. So we're using the hammock now as a guide for alignment. Here you might like to slide that left toe tip back behind you. Check that the thigh and knee have rotated down to the floor, the throat's gently lifted, and we're going to look to float the heel to the height of the hip joint. As we curl and flex into our ostrich, we're lifting the low ribs in and up, and then reaching from crown to tail, pulling length through the spine. Exhaling to curl, imagine capturing a ball between ribs and thighs, and then inhale to expand the wings and stretch that back heel. One more time to curl. And this time as we descend the foot to the floor, we're finding ourselves into our awkward chair. Strong into the work of the legs, we're pushing the sitting bones slightly to the back of the ribs, to the back of the knees, and the lower ribs have tapered down. So notice here the hammock is hanging loose. It's just rested on my upper mid-back, and it's just helping me feel where my verticality is in relationship to the plumb line. As I roll back, I'm going to catch that support of the hammock. Take a breath in as I hit mountain peak. Exhale to move deeper into crescent moon. And then inhale, coming all the way back to mountain peak, traveling it into forward leaning T. Perhaps again you enjoy that walk out for the ankles. Getting some nice length through your Achilles, feeling broad across the ball of the foot from big toe to little toe. And then the next time your left heel comes down, piking your buttock behind, feel that light engagement from the abdominal wall to be able to hover the shoulders lighter in the support of the hammock. And we're going to let that toe tip slide back behind you. We're taking a little bend into your supporting knee if you need and floating that back heel to the height of your hip. From here, as you begin to exhale, we're curling thigh to ribs, tucking nose to belly, hugging the ribs in, and then reaching it long. Exhaling to curl, deepening that connection into your core, and inhale to reach it long. One more time, exhale to curl. And then placing the feet down to the ground, taking a bend into the knees and finding yourself into your awkward chair. Here you can test that the toes can lighten, the weight's into heel and midfoot, and the low ribs have tapered down. Reach from underneath the armpit toward the little finger side of the hand. And when you feel ready, roll it back. Take a breath in, reaching the fingertips high. And then as you exhale, hands coming onto the pillars, we'll take a bend into the knees and rise it all the way to stand. I invite you to find the hammock at a T. It'll nestle just across the back of your neckline. And we're going to look to rise up onto the balls of the feet. Catching your balance here requires pushing from the pelvis down into the legs. You might like to challenge now by snapping your fingers and thumb together, a scissoring action on the hammock, and then seeing if you can bring the hammock to slack as you reach those fingertips tall, tapering down the front ribs, pushing down through the legs, and then soften the heels.